Hey guys, and welcome back in new Nico Dev. So last video that I made was showcasing this game that I was about to release in a week or so. Well, turns out a week has passed and I've done so much new progress on this game. But today we're not gonna talk about all of the progress, all of the new features that are coming out. No, because that don't have to be spoiled. But today we're gonna talk about how I created an online matchmaking system in this game using Firebase database. Now, I'm not gonna go 100% on the details. I may do a more generic video on that, also when I figure out a bunch of stuff to optimize it, but today it's just a video to show you what I've done and how it works, and just a basic concept of how it behaves, so you can create something of your own if you have time. But I'm gonna do a specific tutorial step by step for this later in the future. But as of right now, let's check out how this works. So if you click on online, you're gonna be sent into a waiting room. This is a waiting room, okay? And now let's pretend another guy on the other edge of the world, yes, I'm a flat earther, is connecting to the same game. So as you can see, this is another user, okay? I'm just alt-tabbing, okay? So we're gonna go here and click on online. Now it's gonna take a while, okay, because Firebase is doing all of its dirty work, okay? But after a bit, as you can see, we connected into the same match. So as you can see, the two users are now in the same match. Now as you can see, this user can move, this user cannot. So we have to move with this user. This user has the first move, and he's going to do the first move, okay? And then he did it, okay? Now we switch back to the other user, and now that we switch to the other user, as you can see, we can move the red. So as you can see, we did red, and now this guy is gonna also change. It's gonna take a bit to update. Yes, it updated. And now it's this guy's turn. So as you can see, the game can keep going back and forth, and it works. It's a system that works. Actually, this is the first time I'm testing this. I've encountered a lot of bugs due to my stupidity, and once I fixed them all, I was like, okay, this is gonna work, so I just loaded it in, and as you can see, it works flawlessly. This is amazing, nice, I'm so excited. No, seriously guys though, I didn't think I could pull it off so quickly, you know? I know it's a little bit delayed, and I'm gonna explain why there is this delay, and how you can go ahead and solve this and make it better. But one step at a time. Alright, so now this is how it's set up. Now as you can see, I didn't do any cleanup on the waiting rooms, so once you get into a game, the game never cleans up, and the waiting room never cleans up. So let's actually do a little bit of this ourselves. Let's delete all of the games and everything. Let's not delete the maps though, okay? Because we need the map. Okay, so now let's actually quit. We have to quit. Okay, let's open the game back again. Let's open it twice, okay? And now let's go on to our database, and as you can see, if we go online, as you can see, a new player enters the waiting room. This is me, okay? This is my ID and this is my player. As you can see, inside the player there is gonna be a map. That's right, the player will be able to choose which map he wants to play on. Right now it's just Battlefield because it's the only map available, which is the one right here, as you can see. This is the map. So as you can see now, there is a user in the waiting room. Once we go here and we add another user in the waiting room, boom! Okay, this went by way too quickly, I didn't want to do that. But basically it adds another user in the waiting room. Once there are two users in the waiting room, Firebase just kicks off and says, wait, there are two users, I have to pair them up. And so it creates a new folder, games, and in this game it will the folder name, the game ID, which is also the folder name, we could say, is gonna be the combination between these two IDs. So as you can see, this number plus this one makes the full ID. And if you're wondering what these numbers are about, it's just a timestamp, meaning the milliseconds that have passed after the year 1700. So it's a unique ID number, and as you can see here, it is combined, so it is also unique, okay? So once we go in here, as you can see, instead of only having the map, we also have a game ID. Now, the game itself is constantly checking if right here there is a game ID, and once the game finds that there is a game ID, it will connect the user to the game itself. So as you can see now, I'm not in the waiting room anymore, I'm in the game itself. It went by way too quickly, so it was a little bit confusing. Usually it takes a bit more time, because the functions usually have a delay, and you need to pay in order to decrease it. So right now I'm the only one using the app, so of course it's gonna be really quick, but as soon as some people will start using it, it's gonna be really slow, and I don't know what I'm gonna do about it. But anyway, once we have the reference to this game, the client, this guy, will go onto this folder, will find out the map, okay, will download the map, and will post it into the game itself. But then there will also be another thing, there will be the turn, okay? He will realize, this guy will realize that it's not his turn, and he's gonna say, okay, I'm not gonna do any moves. So as you can see, you cannot do any moves. This guy instead is gonna realize that it's actually his turn, because you can see the 11, this is my ID, and then it's gonna make the player able to make the turn. But now, as you can see, when we move, okay, when we move, what do? The client uploads on the database the turn. So as you can see now, it's not my turn anymore, it's the other guy's turn, because I updated it from the client. And also the client updates a move. And this move is the next move, the move that the client did. And as you can see right here, we have every single information on the move. We have the ID of the pawn, which is this one, which was affected by the move, and also the coordinates where the pawn went, which is right here, which is at 1.5 and 99. The map is situated at 0, 100, 0, so right here it's 0, 100, so here it would be 99, of course. And then it's a little bit shifted to the top because it's an hexagon grid, so 1.5. It checks out. Alright, so then the other client will check constantly if the turn is is, and if it is, as of right now, it will download the new move and it will set it up. So now if we go here, we are gonna have to do another move. Now there is also another kind of move, the double click move. I don't know if you watched the last video about this, but also you can also double click to do a special move, okay? We're gonna do it right now. I don't know if it's gonna work, never tested this before. It should work in theory. Boom. And now it's gonna do it to this guy too. Please. Please. It's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? Well, probably, I don't know, okay, probably I glitched something in the code, and so the double click doesn't work, it throws an exception, and whatever, blah blah blah. It has nothing to do with the database though, because as you can see, the double click now is true, it's just on client side, it's not, that move doesn't work. It's probably a stupid mistake I did. It's gonna be really easily fixed by the next release. Well, that's what happens when you don't test stuff out before actually showing it to people. Anyway, this is it. I kinda broken the game now because I cannot proceed. But this is basically how it works. Now, you may say, Nico, you said there is a way to optimize it. And well, yes, there are plenty of ways to optimize it. You cannot optimize how the database is structured, because I feel like this is the best way possible to structure it, but you can optimize some background things. So as you know, I create all of my games using Unity, but when it comes to Unity, you can actually connect your engine with Firebase in two different ways, via REST API or via Firebase SDK. Now, Firebase SDK is such a better solution for literally anything, because it allows you to do a lot of stuff that you cannot do with just doing a REST API request. But the thing is, for this project, I used the REST APIs. You may say, Nico, why did you do that? Well, for two reasons. Okay, this is getting a little bit complicated, but yes, for two reasons. The first reason is because the Firebase SDK is actually in beta for standalone builds, aka for Windows, Mac or Linux, but it is fully released for Android. Naturally, I want to publish this game on every single platform, so I would go for something like the REST API to make sure that this is happening and that there are not any problems. There is also another reason. The Firebase SDK in Unity 2019.3 is bugged. Okay, there is a stupid bug that doesn't make it happen and doesn't make it work. And I do realize this version of Unity is in alpha, so it's a really unstable version and I shouldn't have downloaded it, but I tried downgrading my project to an older version and it doesn't work, it just corrupts. So I guess I have to stick with this and I cannot use the Firebase SDK. But now, what the Firebase SDK would have allowed me to do was to check for a value constantly and receive a request when that value changed. So right here, at example, I'm checking for when this turn is changing, okay? So right here, this client right here, right now, well, it's a little bit glitched, is checking for when this turn is equal to its player ID. And when it is, it's gonna change the turn. With the Firebase SDK, that can be instantly done. So as soon as you change a value here, the client is gonna know about it. With the REST API, every time you want to check, you have to do a request. Now, naturally, you cannot do a request every single millisecond, or else your computer is gonna explode and your modem internet connection will too. So I tried to limit the connections to one connection every 3 seconds. So this means that if I do some change on the database, the user is gonna know about that change after about 3 seconds. The same thing goes when the user is trying to find a match. So that's not a lot, but stacking up those seconds, it really hurts the connection. And naturally, you cannot play a really quick game like a FPS game on this in this way. But yeah, the Firebase SDK should solve all of your problems. Only problem was I couldn't have been able to use it in Unity yet. Hopefully they fixed the bug, and it's really easy for me now that I set up the project correctly to update to the Firebase SDK, so I cannot wait for this to go as smoothly as possible. Anyway guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video and learned something. If you want, in another video I can go more in depth on how this works, like just code it from scratch. But this is basically the main mechanism on how to do a matchmaking system on Firebase. Hope you really enjoyed it, hope it helped you, and if you have any ideas to make like a matchmaking system with Firebase or anything, please link me down below those ideas, because I would really enjoy checking them out. I plan on uploading this game on itch.io and other services, so you can also check it out once it's released. It's probably gonna take another week to polish and stuff like that. Anyway guys, hope you really enjoyed this video, it was really amazing to make, leave a like if you did, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. See ya!